Epstein Island isn't the only sex island out there. And Tim Ballard takes down one in the film.
These children represent God. They're the most innocent and like God, and that's why the devil wants to kill them, wants to hurt them. It's always been this way since Pharaoh, and then to Herod, and to now, but more than ever.
You're 7 years old and someone is stroking your penis. It feels good. Right. Even though you don't have a name for what that is, it feels good. I always blamed myself. Even though intellectually I would say to other kids, I would speak to people and say, oh, the child is never to blame. You're never responsible for molestation in your life. I still believed I was responsible somehow, that I was a bad girl. Do you not want to have sex until you're married? Is that it?
That's the way right now. That's what I feel. I mean, I was sort of brought up thinking that way, and I feel strongly about that. I feel
when you do have sex, you know it'll make headlines.
Jim Caviezel recently shared a claim that some say could change how people view Oprah Winfrey. But before getting into that point, it's important to understand how this discussion even started. According to those involved, the conversation traces back to a film that critics say Oprah and people close to her strongly opposed and tried to prevent from gaining attention.
Was talking going on. And I was like watching the audience going, what? Second time it happened. Again, third time, talking in this one particular spot. And I'm thinking, what, did we do something wrong or something? But so then one more time it happened. At the end, I was asking about the movie, and I asked them about that one particular part where everybody's talking, and they all cried out Epstein Island. And I went, oh, okay. Now I understand what we're up against.
Sound of Freedom had to overcome numerous obstacles before finally reaching audiences. And it's not the typical Hollywood action movie. The story is inspired by the real experiences of Tim Ballard, who left his government position and took major risks to start an organization focused on rescuing children from traffickers connected to networks like those associated with Jeffrey Epstein. As for Jim Caviezel, he didn't just take on the lead role in the film. He became deeply invested in the project itself. And once you hear what reportedly happened during the production process, it becomes clearer why the experience left such a strong impact on him.
This movie has a power because it goes into your heart and it asks you a question. You know, when this is all done, what do you get? And what are you gonna do? You're gonna have to meet God at some point. And I believe it's going to move a lot of whistleblowers to come forward, but not one. In the hundreds, maybe thousands of them worldwide start coming forward and telling the truth of what's really going on.
And here's the disturbing part. In the United States alone, close to 300,000 children have reportedly been affected by situations like this. Think about all those kids who cross the border. Around 85,000 of them have allegedly disappeared. No one seems to know where they ended up. And those responsible for tracking them don't appear to be doing enough to find answers.
One of the most disturbing problems in our world today is human trafficking, and particularly the trafficking of children. Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is awareness.
Jim Caviezel explained that the movie was actually completed about 5 years earlier, but major studios were unwilling to distribute it at the time. Eventually, it was picked up by Angel Studios. When Sound of Freedom finally reached theaters, it turned into a major hit, earning more than $200 million at the box office. But this is where the controversy began to grow. According to Caviezel, the project became more than just another film release. He felt it placed him in the middle of a larger cultural battle, and he claimed that influential figures within Hollywood strongly pushed back against the movie and its message.
And everyone was told, from Rupert Murdoch and Fox to every studio, look, if you touch this thing, you will be out, you will be done. You'll be finished in 3 years. I remember this one conversation I had with Mel Gibson and the whole team that came in and just said, wow, these are the stakes.
So why would powerful figures in Hollywood dislike this film so much? After all, the story focuses on rescuing children. That's exactly the question Charlie Kirk asked Jim Caviezel during an interview on his program. In response, Caviezel claimed that certain influential groups had tried for years to delay or stop the movie from reaching audiences, and he suggested that prominent figures such as Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry were among those he believed were opposed to the project.
Why are they so opposed, so frantic in antagonizing Sound of Freedom. What's going on here?
Well, I'll give you.
At a crucial moment, people in the audience began bringing up Jeffrey Epstein's island. Jim Caviezel took this as a meaningful signal. He explained that it felt like the crowd was pointing towards something bigger, which led him to discuss an idea he referred to as the eight-armed octopus.
This thing is just the beginning of this whole thing. It's an eight-armed octopus. And if you take just out, that arm will grow back. You have to take the head. And we're talking grooming. We're talking about, because procures more, and
Yes.
then it's a nonstop cycle. So this is a culture that has to be reawakened.
According to Jim Caviezel, the issue goes far beyond a small operation. He suggested it involves influential figures across different parts of the world. Caviezel has also been vocal about his distrust of major media outlets, saying he believes misinformation has often surrounded this topic. For many observers, the conversation intensified when people noticed that Oprah Winfrey's name appeared several times in discussions connected to the Epstein document releases. Some commentators argue that when a public figure's name appears in documents related to a convicted criminal like Jeffrey Epstein, questions naturally follow. Critics say Oprah has largely stayed quiet about those references, which has only fueled further speculation online. At the same time, people have also begun reviewing the flight records associated with Epstein's private jet, often referred to as the Lolita Express, which transported numerous wealthy and well-known passengers over the years. Online discussions claim there may be overlaps between travel data and names appearing in various lists, including references connected to Oprah. However, many of these claims remain debated and are not confirmed as evidence of wrongdoing.
I think it was on that day that I mean, for the first time, I recognized that I was not to blame because I became a promiscuous teenager. And as a result of that, got myself into a lot of trouble and believed that I was responsible for it. It wasn't until I was 36 years old, 36, that I connected the fact, oh, that's why I was that way. I always blamed myself. Even though intellectually I would say to other kids, I would speak to people and say, oh, the child is never to blame. You're never responsible for life. I still believed I was responsible somehow, that I was a bad.
To understand why this discussion continues, some commentators look back at earlier controversies connected to Oprah Winfrey over the years. One frequently mentioned event dates to 2007, when she founded the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa. The school was designed to provide opportunities for underprivileged girls and was widely praised at the time. However, serious allegations soon emerged involving a dormitory staff member named Virginia Makopo. She was arrested and faced multiple charges related to alleged misconduct involving students. Oprah publicly stated that the accusations deeply shocked her. The situation later led to legal disputes, including a defamation claim connected to statements made during the controversy. The case eventually ended with Makopo being acquitted after inconsistencies in witness testimony were cited. While the incident generated significant media attention at the time, the legal outcome meant the charges were ultimately dismissed, and some aspects of the settlement remained private.
And the reason why it irritates me is because it means that somebody must think I'm lying. That's number one. Number two, why would you want to hide it? That is not the way I run my life.
Beyond the legal matters, there have been ongoing rumors and unverified claims regarding several missing girls. From the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls, some conspiracy theories even allege mass graves on the school grounds. Though none of this has been substantiated, Oprah Winfrey has never publicly addressed these claims, launched an investigation, or provided explanations. Her silence, especially given her wealth and resources, has fueled further speculation. Additionally, critics argue that Oprah used her influence to give credibility to individuals like Jeffrey Epstein, which has drawn scrutiny and questions about her associations in powerful social circles.
When Katie met Harvey, she met Harvey with Oprah. She talks about the fact that if Oprah's with Harvey, then why should I worry about it? I mean, Oprah is like the world's mom. Who is not going to trust the person who's next to Oprah?
Every time somebody tries to bring up a public name and they have a lot of money and power and a publicity machine behind them, the person who does the accusing is the one that ends up looking bad.
Harvey Weinstein is currently serving a 16-year prison sentence for his crimes. Before his conviction, he was considered Hollywood royalty, and Oprah Winfrey had been associated with him for decades. They attended events together and were often photographed side by side. She even helped grant him access to some of the most exclusive Hollywood gatherings. A lawsuit filed by British actress Katie and Noble details exactly how this network operated, illustrating the system of influence and protection among elite figures.
Katie met Harvey. She met Harvey with Oprah.
With Oprah.
With Oprah. So Katie, and she talks about this in an interview, and you know, before the trial, during the trial, we'll play the whole interview. She talks about the fact that if Oprah's with Harvey, then why should I worry about it? I mean, Oprah is like the world's mom. Who is not going to trust the person who's next to Oprah?
He was with people in which I admired dearly. He was with Naomi Campbell. He had Oprah Winfrey there with him, who entered the room and was swinging off his arm and just seemed like a very dear friend. And these, like Oprah, Naomi, Rita, and Georgina, they all sat at his table. And for me, you know, meeting Oprah was like, oh my God, like I would have thought that I would have to be someone who's established, who everyone would have had to know about before I was privileged enough to meet someone like Oprah.